Well, howdy, gentlemen. This is Solo Man. I just came back from the gym, and I feel real good. I feel like punching a wall. No, I didn't come back from the gym. That would probably kill me at my age. Do very young men need a gym membership and need to go to the gym? Well, if they're a normal, active young man, they shouldn't have to. Not unless they want to try and become a bodybuilder of some sort. But when I was a very young man, when I came back from work, I was too tired to go to the goddamn gym. I don't know, maybe we worked a lot harder then, I don't know. But anyway, I made a video just a couple of days ago about how femons used to be different. But were they different? I don't believe they were much different. They just couldn't get away with so much, that's all. But what me started thinking about sort of MGTOW type of way was that all the girlfriends I went with, and yes, I had loads of girlfriends. I mean, I was a cool guy. But there's one thing I just couldn't do with these femons, and that was trust them. I don't know, there was just something in my mind that just wouldn't trust them 100%. I mean, you get that feeling when you meet somebody that you don't think something's right. I had no trouble trusting men and my friends, but I tested the theory out on quite a few femons, and I caught them deceiving me quite a lot. Usually nothing really major, but it did show that my feelings to not trust them was correct. You men out there should listen to your inner feelings, because if something doesn't feel right, then it usually isn't. And of course the trouble is, if you can't really trust this person 100%, how can they be your partner and have a good relationship? You see, society is what controls femons' actions, what they can get away with. And there's a saying, like I said before, give a femon an inch and she'll take a mile. And we know that to be true, don't we? Now, if you go way back in the olden days, femons used to be burnt at the stake for witches, didn't they? I mean, it was a bit barbaric, of course, but it still happened, and you have to ask yourself, why? And today there is some countries that keep a lid on the femons a little bit, don't they? Get them to cover up. They're not allowed to mix with men in certain places. And you can probably say, oh, that's barbaric too. Well, just take a look at the Western world and the Europe and see what's happening with the femons there. Mostly disgusting debauchery happening pretty well everywhere. Maybe these countries know something we don't. And if they're watching what's happening in the Western world and Europe with the femons, I mean, let's face it, femons are completely out of control. Maybe they think their laws aren't so bad after all. And for those guys out there saying, oh, I'm with a femon now and married to a femon and I can trust her, she's different than the rest. Oh yeah, they're different from the rest until they're not. I mean, just take a look at the history of these men that have trusted their wives or trusted their girlfriends and got the shock of their lives. Femons' tools are lies and deceiving, because most of them know that if they tell the truth, you won't like it. And that's one of the reasons why femons don't get on with femons. They can't trust each other. And if somebody doesn't bring the hammer down on these crazy femons, they will destroy the countries they're acting up in. And maybe they are kind of witches, because you married men, they put a spell on you. And all you white knights out there, think before you act. Remember, they don't need no man. Which brings me to a true story here. I got a friend at work who's quite old, and he has a daughter that was having a relationship with a man, and they were living together. But they split up for some reason, and he left the home. And this is a youngish femon. She's kind of like third-wave feminism type. You know, she don't need no man. But I guess the washing machine started leaking at the back pretty bad. So even though they weren't together anymore, she phoned her ex-boyfriend up. But he was way too far away to come and fix it. So then she phoned her dad to come and fix it. So he had to drop everything and rush round to this place and fix it for her. See that? They don't need no man until they need a man. They're all virtual signalers, guys. Cherry pickers. Users. So, kind of let me know any of your relationships or femons you've been with. And just let me know if you actually really trusted them. And of course it comes to mind that soldier that kind of went home to surprise his wife, and she didn't know he was coming. And he found her in bed with another man. Boy, and I bet you he trusted her too. You take it easy out there, men. Remember, I won't always be there when something happens, so make the right choice.
Oh, you hear me? I put a spell on you.